Hey guys, so Macy's sleeping in the back, and this is like the only time I could really shoot this. Let me turn off the wipers. This is like the only time I could shoot this video is while she was napping, but I wanted to make like a mini series, I guess, talking about deployment either week by week or month by month. I'm hoping month by month because I'm hoping after these first 2 weeks it's gonna get easier. But Jake deployed on the 25th, so it's been a little over a week, and I just want to talk about the things no one tells you about when your husband deploys. At least no one told me about. So our first day we dropped Jake off, and we thought we were going to be able to like go hang out with him at lunch. We had to drop him off at like 8 in the morning, and they weren't leaving until 5 o'clock ish that night. I actually don't think I'm supposed to tell you that. I'm so bad at this military wife stuff. I will say that I don't even really know what time they left, but we knew that we were supposed to be able to meet them for lunch, so most spouses were just dropping off their husbands, and then a lot of us were planning on meeting them for lunch. And around lunchtime we got a phone call letting us know that they were behind on getting some stuff done and like paperwork, and we were not going to be able to see them, so drop off was our goodbye. So most of us did not get the goodbye we thought we were going to get, because we thought we were going to see our husbands or spouses in a few hours, which was not the case. So day one started off weird anyways, and it just got worse and worse and worse as the day went on, because once we found out that afternoon we couldn't go see Jake one more time, I was just trying not to be so incredibly moody, but I was pretty furious. So that first day I had no idea what to do with myself. I remember I was just pacing back and forth like through the house, and I cleaned and tried to stay busy, and I was just trying not to think about it. But it was so weird because all day, like, I knew he was 20 minutes away on base, like they weren't leaving until later in the day, so it was just like awkward. Like, yes, he's gone, but he's not really gone, so it just made it harder, I think. I wrote down here that I nervously cleaned like a crazy person, and I don't think Macy really noticed like there was a shift in our moods, or there was going to be a shift in like our daily activities that day, but I definitely think she knows now. And she is only a little over a year, and she will wake up and she'll go to Jake's side of the bed and like look for Jake, and it's depressing. When he calls, she'll scream dada dada dada, and whenever I get like a call on my phone now, she'll say dada dada dada, but most of the time it's not dada dada dada, so that sucks. I wrote down my diet of the day consisted of Oreos, Dr. Pepper, and 1 chicken nugget. I do remember I was not feeling good that day. I literally felt like I had just gone through like a major breakup or something. I don't know if any of you have gone through big breakups like in high school, but that's what I felt like. Like, I wanted to eat, and when he was leaving I was like, I'm just gonna eat a big tub of Ben & Jerry's when he's gone. And then when that day actually came, oh my gosh, tired. Macy's also not sleeping very well anymore. When that day came, I like looked at my carton of ice cream, and I remember it was like 10:30 at night, and I couldn't sleep, and I was just like, well, I'm not hungry, but I'm gonna try the ice cream. And I ate half the carton. Granted, it was like a pint, so it was a little one, but I ate it. It was not Ben & Jerry's, it was Bluebell, which is my favorite. I think it's like a Texan thing, like you just have to have your Bluebell ice cream. So luckily our commissary, I cannot talk. This video sucks. Like, I was hoping to be like all peppy, but it really just sucks, and no one tells you how much it's gonna suck. Like, you know it's not gonna be good, but then when it happens, you're like, oh, this really blows. Anyways, I was doing pretty good until we went to the store for the first time, and walking down the aisle, Macy started saying dada dada dada, which she calls every guy dada, so it's not like she knows that like dada is just Jake. She calls everyone dada. And there was these guys in uniform, and she started calling them dada in the store, and like the tears were starting to well up in my eyes, and I was like, oh, she'll come back, she'll come back. So that was rough. I like tried to hurry out of the store as fast as I could and just like refocus my mind. And at that point, Jake had just been gone for a couple of hours, so he really was gone at that point. Our first dinner was so depressing. I'm trying to keep Macy's routine as normal as possible, and we eat dinner as a family every night, so I was trying to cook her some dinner and I knew I wasn't going to eat it, which is why I say that I ate one chicken nugget. So I remember sitting at that dinner, and like Jake normally prays, and I had to say the prayer, and it was just like, this is so awkward. Like, it was just quiet. It's really hard to just have a conversation. We try to talk at dinner, so Macy's like used to that, which is probably a crazy thing. I'm sure that people don't just sit there and like jabber just for their baby, but we do. And I've still tried to like keep conversation with Jake gone, even though it's pretty one-sided. But we just try to make family dinner like about family time, and so dinner times are rough. It's very hard to like have a conversation for 20 minutes while you're eating dinner with a 1.5-year-old who doesn't really say much back. And she's not even 1.5. She's 14, almost 14 months. Day 2 is when it like really hit me. The house was empty. I had no more cleaning left to do. I had deep cleaned the day before because I was just trying to stay busy. I think I had like one load of laundry that I folded laundry on day 2. Oh, and our French Bulldog decided that she no longer wanted to be potty trained and peed on the couch. Luckily, it's a cheap couch and you can like take all the cushions apart and wash them. And by cheap, I mean it's like Italy cheap, because it actually really wasn't that cheap for what it is. We bought it at IKEA here, but the things come off, so I took off the things and washed all of them. But I literally wanted to kill Millie that day. Like, I could not believe, she even like stood up, looked me straight in the eye, and started peeing. So I like clapped my hand and ran over to her and picked her up, and then she peed all over me. So that was great. And she had just been outside, so I wanted to kill the dog on day 2. I have written down that it was the longest day ever, but I'm pretty sure today is going to really be the longest day ever. It's only 9:52 and I feel like it's like 5 in the afternoon. Macy's been up since almost 4:30, just party rocking. We're actually waiting to go into playgroup right now, and she's sleeping in the back. Oh, and this brings me to day 3. So we did get a CDC spot for a short while I had a job interview the week before Jake left. I had to rent it for the whole week, which CDC is the child care thing here. It's daycare pretty much. Child Development Center is what CDC stands for. But on day 2, Macy got hand, foot, and mouth. And they don't send people home for hand, foot, and mouth. But we kept her home because that stuff spreads like wildfire. And I did not want to be held responsible for giving it to another child. So I got to deal with that, and she literally had the worst blisters. She would wake up in the middle of the night screaming, wanting me to hold her, but it was so sore for me to hold her because she had blisters on her bum. So I literally sat in bed almost the entire night for the first week trying to get Macy to calm down. She'd fall asleep for maybe 20-30 minutes at a time. I think the longest stretch we had that first night was an hour and a half. She slept where we both were able to sleep, and other than that I had to hold her in bed to keep her kind of comfortable. But she wanted me to stand up the whole time, and every time I would like go to sit down, she would wake up. So that was really, really, really freaking hard. I stopped writing down the days. After day 3 it got a little bit better. I was watching another spouse's kids and they helped the day go by faster, but I'm not watching them anymore, which by the way, those 2 kids also now have hand, foot, and mouth, and they are 13 and 12. But we were in a situation where their dad was at work and their mom was out of the country, so they had no one else to watch them. So they had to stay with me. Like, there was nothing we could do, and I was bleaching all the toys. And the doctor actually thought that they wouldn't get it because he thought their immune system would be, like, equipped to fight it off, I guess, but it was not. So they are dealing with that right now at their house. But those days went by pretty quick, and now we're on day 9, and it's been rough. Like, Jake and I actually, Jake doesn't even know this, but he said something the other day on the phone that like really irritated me, and I didn't want to say anything to him because he's clearly overseas and I don't want to make it like more depressing. But I have like thought about it all day and night, and I am so irritated, and it's been such a hard couple days anyways because we haven't been able to leave the house. Right after Macy had hand, foot, and mouth, she got a terrible cold, so she's still been up all night. Last night was the first night she got sleep, and she seems to be doing a lot better today. But when we were finally able to leave the house, it at least been like on a lockdown type thing because the weather's been so bad that they were expecting tornadoes, and our landlords came over and they don't speak a lick of English, and they were trying to tell me like what to do for the house and how to do it, and Macy was screaming in the car seat because we were trying to leave, and it was just a freaking nightmare. And I just feel like no one tells you like the little things that are going to bug you. Like, you know that they're leaving and you know it's going to be hard, and I think that that's something you brace for. But so far my biggest pet peeve, like, this drives me so freaking crazy, but there are a few people who genuinely care about like us and our family, and I'm friends with those people, and sadly they're all gone right now. I have one friend that's still here that's going through this deployment with me, and she's technically not here. She's such a badass. She's in India right now, and she's taking a yoga instructing class so she can do yoga when she gets back, like teach it on base. But other than that, my support system all left right before this deployment. So I literally have no friends here, but some of Jake's coworkers' wives who are just, there's like no nice way to say this, but Jake is an officer, and there's these cliquey little groups, and some of these women have not been super kind to me in the past, or they're like nice to your face, but you know that they're talking mad crap behind your back, and I don't care because I don't like them either, so it's fine. But when you see them out and about and they're like, how are you? Are you doing okay? Is there anything we can do? Like, I literally want to punch them in the face and be like, don't be all sentimental now. Like, I know that you don't know where I'm coming from. Like, I know that you don't understand what it's like to have a deployed spouse and be alone with your kid in a foreign country because A, you don't have kids, and B, you are a free bird. You do whatever you want. So don't try to sympathize with me now when you've not treated me well for the last 2 years, at least not well behind my back. Like, don't ask me how I'm doing. You know that it's shitty. You know that I don't like being here, so don't ask. My husband's gone. It sucks. But you can't answer like that, so you just say, oh, we're doing so great. It'll be fine. The 6 months gonna fly by. And then when they leave, in your head, you just think about strangling them. Or their husband having to deploy and them not being able to go do anything. I'll take it there. Like, you be quiet, you dirty old hag. That's how I feel.